facing towards the bottom of a hill is a little different. After pulling into a parking space, rotate the front wheels all the way to the right, with the fronts of the tires pointing towards the curb. Once the vehicle and the wheels are in the correct position, place the vehicle in park and set the parking brake. In this position, if the parking brake were to fail, the vehicle would roll forward until the front tires are stopped by the curb. If there are no curbs, there is only one safe solution for parking on an inclined or declined roadway without curbs. Position your vehicle in the parking space and turn the front wheels to the right. Place the vehicle and park and then set the parking brake. By parking with the wheels turned to the right, if the parking brake fails, the vehicle would roll off the roadway and away from traffic. When parking on an incline or decline, prepare for the worst by always turning your tires to the proper direction and set the parking brake. This will keep your vehicle on place and other drivers, pedestrians, and parked cars safe. Sixth section. Places of no parking or stopping. 1. Pedestrians crossing places and on sidewalks. 2. Bridges, high passages and tunnels, unless if there are places allocated for parking or stopping. 3. Carriageway near from heights and turns. 4. At a distance less than 15 meters from crossroads, square entrances, roundabouts, pedestrians crossings, and public transport stations. 5. Carriageway beside continuous long road marking that prohibits its crossing. 6. Places where parking and stopping lead to blocked traffic lights, road surface markings, or vehicles from other road users. 7. In front of house entrances and exits, vehicle garages, petrol stations, hospitals, ambulance centers, fire bridges, police station, military areas, education institutions without permission. 9. Places where parking obstructs another parked vehicle. 10. Carriageway beside another parking vehicle. 11. Places of no parking and stopping. 12. Handicap parking and other places. 7th section. Emergency stopping. A. It is prohibited to stop any vehicle at a distance that exceeds a half a meter from the edge of the sidewalk or the road shoulder. B. The driver is prohibited to use stones or similar to secure wheels of his vehicle when stopping on the road only when necessary, and he has to remove it from the road before leaving the location and use handbrakes of the vehicle. Jacks, reflectors, and warning light devices exist in the vehicle for this purpose. C. Vehicles are prohibited to stop at turns, and if necessary, the distance from the turn must not be less than 20 meters. You have to alert road users that your vehicle is faulty by placing the reflector triangle, so your vehicle will be visible at a distance not less than 100 meters on the roads outside cities and at a distance of 50 meters on the roads inside cities to warn other drivers. 4. Handicap parking and other places. 5. Carriageway beside another parking vehicle. 6. Places of no parking and stopping. 7. Emergency stopping. A. It is prohibited to stop any vehicle at a distance that exceeds a half a meter from the edge of the sidewalk or the road shoulder. B. The driver is prohibited to use stones or similar to secure wheels of his vehicle when stopping on the road only when necessary, and he has to remove it from the road before leaving the location and use handbrakes of the vehicle. Jacks, reflectors, and warning light devices exist in the vehicle for this purpose. Overtaking. First section, overtaking. It is the exceeding of a vehicle or an obstacle on the road, whether movable or fixed, while driving the vehicle at certain places and according to definite conditions. Second section, types of overtaking. 1. Overtaking fixed obstacles, stopping vehicles, excavations or works, or any obstacle in the lane of the vehicle. 2. Overtaking movable obstacle. Vehicles changing their direction, vehicles move with a low speed. Third section, conditions of safe overtaking. 1. Determine suitable time and place before the overtaking. 2. Make sure that the driver and the vehicle are able to overtake. 3. Commit with traffic marks and signs. Fourth section, overtaking signs and marks. 1. Overtaking signs. No overtaking sign. It is a circular sign with white background and red frame, contains a picture of two cars, one in black and the other in red color. Indicates start of no overtaking area for all vehicles. Truck no overtaking sign. It is a circular sign with white background and red frame, contains a picture of a car in black color and a truck in red color, indicating starting of no overtaking area for trucks. Heavy vehicles. End of no overtaking sign. It is a circular sign with white background and black frame, contains a picture of two cars in black color and inclined diagonals, indicates end of no overtaking area for vehicles. End of no overtaking sign for trucks. It is a circular sign with white background and black frame, contains a picture of a car and a truck in black color and inclined diagonals, indicates end of no overtaking area for trucks. Warning signs. Driver has not to overtake when he sees any of the warning signs, because the existence of these signs warn of the existence of a risk on the road, and in this case, overtaking subjects you and other road users to risk. 2. Overtaking marks. No overtaking mark. The driver is prohibited to overtake when he sees this line because there may be a curve or a height ahead and insufficient visibility. Prohibition is for all vehicles without exception. No overtaking confirmation mark. The driver is prohibited to overtake when he sees these two lines because there may be a curve or a height ahead and insufficient visibility. Prohibition is for all vehicles without exception. No overtaking mark for the vehicle that the continuous line is at its left. The driver of the vehicle that the continuous line is at its left is prohibited to overtake when he sees this continuous line, because there may be a curve or a height ahead and insufficient visibility. Prohibition is for all vehicles without exception. Fifth section. Overtaking steps. The driver must overtake with his vehicle from the left side of the vehicle preceding his vehicle, and he has to commit with the following. Follow traffic signs, marks placed or engraved on the road. Make sure that the road is clear in front of him for a sufficient distance to complete overtaking process. Look at the inside mirror and then at the side one, and take a look over the shoulder to make sure that the situation is safe and there are no vehicles in the blind spots and the overtaking is allowed. Alert road users that you want to overtake by a light or sound signal. While overtaking, keep away from the overtaking obstacles by a sufficient safe side distance. Look at the mirror to make sure of the completion of the overtaking process and give the necessary light signal, right signal, to inform other road users of the completion of overtaking. When overtaking a big vehicle, you have to take a look on the two sides of this vehicle before starting overtaking, taking into consideration not to return to the lane of the big vehicle except after seeing it in the mirror. Determine the speed and do the following procedures. A. Determine the suitable shift position and the speed to be able to complete overtaking process in the shortest possible time. B. Reduce the speed when overtaking buses and stopped passenger cars to drop passengers. C. Overtaking is always done from the left of the other vehicles or obstacles, unless the driver of the vehicle required to be overtaken gives a turn signal to the left. Sixth section. No overtaking places. Invisible heights and acute curves. Slippery roads, circular squares, near pedestrians crossings, schools, hospitals, gardens, and emergency vehicle lanes. Road turns, bridges, and tunnels. All places in which overtaking is prohibited by using traffic signs or marks. Seventh section. No overtaking cases. No overtaking of passenger buses allocated for transport of students when stopped in residential areas. When vision is hard on the road because of natural or emergency circumstances, fog or dust. Police cars, internal security forces, ambulance, civil defense and rescue in emergency cases and when using alert and warning devices. Group of stopped cars because of disruption of traffic motion or stop of vehicles or traffic motion that does not allow the completion of overtaking process safely. If the front vehicle required to be overtaken is moving with a speed that makes the completion of overtaking hard. If the front vehicle is overtaking another vehicle. If there is another vehicle that moves at the rear and started to overtake. When the driver of the preceding vehicle gives a signal of no overtaking. Eighth section. When overtaking, the following must be taken into consideration. It is prohibited to increase the speed of the vehicle when another vehicle is overtaking it, and the driver has to enable others to achieve this overtaking. Follow guidelines indicated on any mark placed or engraved on the road surface by the licensing authority. Give way to emergency vehicles, police, internal security forces, civil defense and ambulance, while performing emergency service, with a reduction of speed or stop moving if necessary. Clear the road immediately if there are emergency motor vehicles, police, internal security forces, civil defense and ambulance, at intersections, junctions or crossroads to give way to these vehicles without any obstacle. Ninth section. Rules and ethics of overtaking. It is prohibited to increase the speed of the vehicle when another vehicle is overtaking it, and the driver has to enable others to make this overtaking safely. When meeting another vehicle, the driver required to be overtaken has to facilitate the overtaking process, including to take extreme right of carriageway and reduce the speed of the vehicle if the situation requires. The driver of a vehicle that transports a load and cannot be overtaken because of road situations and traffic motion has to reduce the speed of his vehicle and exit as necessary as possible to road shoulder to give way to vehicles behind to overtake it safely. Tenth section. Side winds and their effect on overtaking. Side winds are divided into two types. 1. Vacuum winds resulting from speed of vehicles. The effect of these two types of winds seen obvious and even more during overtaking of large vehicles. In such circumstances, the small vehicles are subjected to pull off toward the large vehicles when the small vehicles perform overtaking process. To overcome this problem, hold the steering wheel firmly with both hands with appropriate guidance of steering wheel. Two, natural wind. It is formed during changes in different weather conditions. Its effect differs on vehicles according to their speed, and when approaching a barrier or a vehicle, it approaches from this barrier because of the sudden reduction of the wind speed.